Welcome to the Nerd Party.
I'm Darren Moser.
I'm Phillip Gilfus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
And this is City Alpha 3. Hello and welcome to City Alpha 3, a Star Trek podcast. I'm Darren Moser, stranded here with my two co-hosts, Daniel and Phillip. Guys, it's day 176. It's being stranded. It's feeling a lot like being quarantined, but I don't. Maybe that's too on the nose. But how has your last few weeks been? Any binge watching or sci-fi engaging? Okay, can we say that? Yeah, we can say that.
I think we're supposed to say it. Aren't we under contract to say it at least once an episode or something?
That actually expired about 100 episodes ago, that contract. We've just been floating blind since then, but I think we'll be okay.
Well, I'm still in my TOS rewatch. I'm in because with TOS the seasons are very long. I mean, that's in a good way. But I'm probably in the first third of season 2.
Like Gene would have wanted it.
Exactly, 29 episodes per anyway, whatever it is. But anyway, so but yeah, I'm in the first third of season 2, so things are going well. I'm trying to think of. I got to iMud, so I watched that. But anyway, I'm also reading.
Truly the best of times.
But I'm also reading Star Trek book, literally called the Star Trek book. Strange New Worlds Boldly Explained. It's anyway. But I mean, it's just a sort of generic. I mean, it's very well done, but sort of how they break it up. They sort of kind of try to do an in.
Phillip, there's only one Star Trek book at all. It's called Ship of the Line. You might have heard of it. It's gosh, when was this printed?
Darren, did you pull
1997.
Did you pull that out from underneath the tactical console?
Look, there's this little pocket I have right here.
It's amazing.
It's,
and then I guess I also
let me check my Star Trek technical manual and see if there's a pocket there for the.
I did go. I would say to my local, but that's not alive. It's like 50 minutes away. But I did go to a used bookstore. That was my I'm gonna live in the world for the first time in 3 months. It's because to sell some books, as I just had piles of them. But anyway, I was buying cheap books in the Star Trek section, and I bought, and I know it's old, but I know you have it, Darren. But it was like $1 if it wasn't even 90 cents or something. But the Star Trek chronology, which I know is probably outdated, but I'm like, you know what? It's a reference book that's just interesting, I think, to have. Because I mean, it was like in the mid 90s, which I'm sure half of it probably doesn't make sense anymore. But that was my little Star Trek book.
Yeah, it ends mid season 4 of TNG or something like that.
And then there was no more history made.
Unlike the internet, it's not quite the living document we hoped it would be. But
the used bookstore you went to, Phillip, did that happen to be in Idaho? Or was it Idaho or Iowa that the Millennium Gate?
Yes. Oh, I forget what it was. Yes.
I can't remember what it was. Anyways.
Well, and I see you've also been posting some more pictures with your set extensions for your Playmates figures, some holographic arches, and just every time I see them, I'm jealous and I want to add to my collection, but I don't. Not yet.
It was a fun little exercise on Instagram of trying to do because I have, like you said, my Playmates figures, so I used Riker and Troy, and then from Triple Fiction Productions, 3D printing, I have a holodeck arch, but it's the arch separates from the doors, so I did in 3 pictures, sort of them on the in the back in my backyard, of course, but so you have the doors in the archway, and then the next picture the doors disappear, and then in the next picture the arch disappears, so it's like the holodeck program coming to life. So that's what happens when you have time on your hands and toys.
Nice.
What about you, Daniel? What have you been doing in this time of stuff?
Not much, honestly. I've actually been, I don't know, I guess toe deep in playing a bunch of Lego Star Wars games, but
that's cool.
Which always makes me really regret the fact that there's terrible Star Trek licensing and we don't get a Lego game. But maybe someday now. I'm hoping.
Oh man, like a Star well, I don't know how they would do it, but like, there's that new Star Wars Squadrons game coming out this fall. But I don't. That's the thing with Star Trek, so different, where it's not as fighter ship based.
Yeah, that kind of
It's
game,
more capital ship based.
that kind of game, making a proper Star Trek game would be difficult. Making a decent Lego Star Trek game would be very easy to do. And you'd have so many characters, man. It's so easy. But Star Trek characters, all you have to do is change the head out. And there you go for Legos. But
I was watching the new DuckTales.
Okay.
It's old because on Disney Plus. Like, I'm watching the first season. I'm sure they're in like season 3 by now. But anyway, the cool thing I think about the Disneyverse or the Duckiverse or whatever, like everything exists in DuckTales. So, like,
Right.
for instance, there's an episode and it's almost like a B story, or it's like just in the background, the Rescue Rangers.
Yeah.
And I was
I've
just
seen
like, what
that,
the?
where it's like they come out
Yeah.
of like the wall,
Yeah, they're
get
just
in their
there.
plane and take off. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think there's a Darkwing Duck reference.
was- yeah.
He's a. Yeah.
I turned on an episode, and because I've watched the old Darkwing Duck on Disney Plus, I'll either watch new DuckTales or old Darkwing. And so I clicked an episode and got distracted, and I saw Darkwing Duck, like the old Darkwing Duck. I was like, oh, I must have accidentally pressed the wrong thing. But no, new Launchpad is watching an old episode of Darkwing. I was like, oh my god, this is
That's
so
funny.
cool. But anyway, sorry.
No, yeah, I've been enjoying that show as well. I'll usually watch. Been trying to work through Gargoyles and stuff like that.
But of course, Gizmo Duck, my favorite, voiced by Miranda.
oh, is it really?
That's right.
Oh well, Albed Daniel is one of the
One of the
Dewey or
ducklings, yeah.
Yes.
Well, today on City Alpha 3, we're going to be talking about some of the humorous moments of Star Trek. And this actually came about from a tweet. Yes, Twitter, it still exists. And Phillip posted on his Twitter account. Phillip, what is that? What is that Twitter name again? Usually we wait till the end, but we won't wait that long.
At NC Public Servant.
And he just posted a simple question. What is the funniest episode in the Star Trek franchise? And what are you up to? 130 responses?
133 right now.
Wow,
Date.
that is
Mark.
a lot of answers. So let's dive into some of those. Not that we're going to get to all of them. This won't be one of Darren's crazy list episodes that turns into a two-parter. Been a while since we've done that. But no, I think, because Star Trek, it has fun with itself. It definitely does. But they also still deal with, difficult topics. I mean, we just talked about past tense, which isn't, the humor, joy-filled, but you still get some witty banter from like Dax, and you have more of like the B plot with O'Brien and Kira. That's obviously played for laughs because we're like, guys, we got to have something funny in this episode. It is not just say you broke your nose. I mean, it'll be fine. But no, and we can get to if any of these episodes we list are your guys' favorite funny episodes, be sure to chime in. But oh gosh, Drew, gosh, why do you have to start? Why do you have to start there? I mean,
yeah, it's but just watching TOS.
yeah, you just watched it again.
Yeah, I mean TOS in general has
Willingly,
a lot of funny episodes. Not necessarily surrealist sometimes. Like, in other words, I'm thinking of Shore Leave, which is like, oh, that's a funny episode, but like, you don't know. It's like kind of a horror humor episode because they don't know. McCoy's dying. This one girl's getting attacked by Don Juan, and there's airplanes strafing him. It's not like haha, but there's some surreal. But then of course
you can
TOS
look back on it and laugh, but not during.
But then even my wife Jessica knows to make fun of the end of every TOS episode by laughing uproariously at because it's always the laugh on the bridge is how they end an episode.
Oh, so she joins in on the laugh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. So,
The freeze frame laugh.
But so iMud is not. It's kind of again surreal because that part where they're trying to fool the androids, and we talked about it last week. It's weird. I mean, it's funny, but it's I mean, in the part about like, oh, ex-wives, they sure are shrill, aren't they? And you're like, I don't know. Okay.
in the 60s, maybe. I don't know. We could get away with that joke.
Yeah.
Well, one that's definitely ranking high. I'm wondering if comedy in Star Trek is directionally proportional to the amount of quotability an episode has. Because one fan favorite for sure is Bride of Chaotica. And it's just, I mean, from the premise, which is, just, I think it's best when Tom is just trying to sum it up, where he's like, let me get this straight. I need to pose as Chaotica.
Yes, ma'am. And his army of evil.
And his army of evil. And and he says it so deadpan. But that is it the situation that is so funny? Is it the lines that we get that we can quote? I don't know. It's just such a lot of these. Is it the black and white?
A lot of times Star Trek can struggle with this idea, but I'm sure we'll talk about a lot of these episodes, but a lot of times when they really commit to it, to like a crazy bit, it's really, really good. That's like the best stuff that we see. When it's like, let's make the whole episode black and white, or about a baseball game or whatever, and it's like you're just like and then they, because we love these characters so much, it tends to be, to me, a lot of character stuff that really, really makes me laugh. And Bride of Chaotica it's probably my favorite Voyager episode. I mean, it's so much fun. It's great.
And I think they often in comedy, and we'll talk about the examples here, we name episodes, I think there's a lot of ways to do it, but I think what Star Trek leans on the most, and I'm not saying this in a bad way, is the fish out of water. Because we've created this Star Trek universe that we all take seriously, of course, because, I mean, that's what
we
the
have
Star Trek
really
universe
advanced
is.
Technology to make our lives better, but...
It's all science-based, even though it's science fiction, but, it's a believable world that we've created. So it's real. It's real. But so when they get into... no one said Star Trek 4, I don't think. But anyway, like 1987, they're fish out of water because we know what the Star Trek world's supposed to be like, but they're in here, or they're in the black and white 1950s sci-fi serials that it's, and so just that we love our Star Trek world so much. Anytime they're outside of that world, it's often funny.
That's true. A lot of the episodes where they transpose them into something that we're more familiar with than those characters, oh gosh, I always name it for Future Tense, the Voyager one.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Q episodes. They start to blend together, and it's hard to tell which is which. But yeah, well, and you just said Star Trek 4. I mean, Star Trek 4 has a lot of humor, and a lot of it's delivered by Spock, which is, a very dry response. But yeah, I mean, it's really the Spock, Bones, and Kirk trio are just belting out the one-liners, like simple logic and, double dumbass on you and
nuclear vessels. Can you tell me where the nuclear vessels are?
Which, it's like, I wonder if they think that those are going to be as iconic lines, or is it just, let's make the Russians say something about nuclear vessels in 1980s.
Yeah, which I think because of his over-the-top accent, this is going to be me being old man on the bridge for a second. It's funny just the way he says the line, but I wonder for folks who are a little bit younger that the real humor of the situation is, as you said, the 1980s. A Russian asking where we keep our nuclear weapons, is, I guess, to a certain extent, and these days, I suppose, as well. But anyway, is very ironic.
Another one from the Twitter list is, I think it's Cupid, where you have the Robin Hood, and Worf is protesting that he is not a married man. I mean, just Worf is Will Scarlet. I mean, just that sentence right there, and Data with like a balding crown of head. It's just they just look so funny.
TNG, I don't know, to think about what are all the funny episodes of TNG, because like I said, Star Trek does take itself seriously, but there's a comedic bit there that is such a comedic bit that it's almost outside of a Star Trek writing, where we all have seen this in comedic movies, where LaForge strumming the lute and Worf just takes it out of his hand, cracks it against gives it back, and is like, sorry.
Like, he couldn't just say, Commander, please stop that. It's like, nope, that wouldn't be nearly as funny.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's... also, we have, Timescape, which, overall isn't extremely funny, but when Picard is starting to lose it and is drawing the little happy face in the warp core breach...
Well, it even has that beginning scene though that
Right. They're talking around the table.
yeah, it goes on in some kind of unbroken sentence. And then, he came up to me and said he wanted to, do some private studies in procreation.
Yeah.
Did you take him up on it, counselor?
That's true. Data is often, the voice of humor because he doesn't get it. He
He's
doesn't
your
get
ultimate
the
straight
joke.
man.
What about you, Daniel? What's one of your favorite? It doesn't have to just be TNG. We've been very TNG heavy, but
All our lives.
Oh man.
well, it's not like we did a TNG podcast at all for hundreds.
I
of
mean,
episodes.
you could do, like, I like to do the 1-2 punch of Tribbles.
Yeah.
The original
Trials and Tribulations.
Yeah, and the original and Deep Space Nine one, because they're both great, and they're obviously really good companion pieces of each other as well. So, and it's just, I mean, obviously even Tribbles themselves are kind of a horrific joke, like terribly
On
scary,
biology.
but also really funny, and there's a lot of silly stuff you can do with them, and it's great. It all works really, really well. I think it's really funny stuff.
I'm just picturing Bashir trying to hit on his possible great grandmother. We're not sure about it.
Well, and I was gonna say it's understated. It's not understated at all. But like Miles and Julian often have that comedic relationship. I mean, it's
Yeah.
I mean, and I hate to use this word. It's very bro-y. I don't know. It's probably a better
It's a
word for that.
bromance, for
But anyway,
sure.
yeah. And so, but because emotionally it can be, there's emotional stuff too. But like the humor there is always there. I mean, they're a mismatched pair again. That's always funny.
Well, and often we'll have a lot of Q. I mean, we already said Cupid, but like from bringing a mariachi band onto the bridge to
Showing up naked.
being asked to die. I mean, it's like he's just that prankster where he's. I don't know. Is there a Q episodes that's fully
Iborg.
without humor?
Death
I was
Wish.
gonna say, if there's anyone,
But
it might be
even not
Ivor.
Death Wish, because you'll have like during the trial, the short hearing, because you have like the guy from the '60s show up, and
Right.
Isaac Newton, if he didn't discover the apple, he would have died penniless, dying of like gonorrhea or something like that, or something, I
Or
forget.
making it to Woodstock, and
Yeah, I think Iborg it's not funny ever. I think
no, it's Hulis. No, it's anyway, yes. The
you mean
Borg one.
Q-Who?
Q-Who. Sorry, yes, you're right.
I was
Or-
blanking
I was
on
just
it.
saying, I don't think Iborg.
Sorry.
I know what you mean. The first episode with the Borg.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, that one isn't
Yeah.
funny at all.
Yeah, he
Lots of
plays it
people
pretty
die.
straight. Well, because he's spiting Picard. He's being like, "Oh, you think you can handle everything? Well, here, let me drop you into the worst situation possible."
Well, and certainly, oh gosh, what was the second one that we don't ever talk about? Second Q episode. Daniel, now you have me doing it. But anyway, season 1, or is it?
I thought the Borg one was the second Q episode.
No, it's the one where he offers
the one where they go in the
Riker-
penalty box.
Yeah, yes. See, they don't even talk about it. It's so yes. Yeah, the animal things. And
Oh gosh, yeah, that's season. That's got to be season one.
yeah.
I think it is too. So anyway,
It's like it looks like a 1960s backlot set of the planet. Like it looks really.
That's when
bad.
Q turns into Data, though, and I love that part.
oh, that's
That
true.
part is really cool. It's like unnerving
What was
because
it
it's like
called?
Q with yellow eyes.
This.
Q in the gray was actually good.
Yeah.
Well,
well,
Daniel looks that up.
I was gonna
say
on
that-
memory on it.
Hiding Q.
Hiding
Hiding
Q.
Q,
Yeah,
yeah.
the one that makes no sense.
That's the problem with the Q episodes is they're witty, but they're so interchangeable that it makes it hard to keep them straight.
Well, we didn't mention, because I know it's on the list, one we're not necessarily a fan of, but let's see if we can re-examine it for 5 seconds. The Trouble with Edward, because we didn't mention Tribble episodes.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna bring that up eventually, but
a lot of folks like that, or thought it was funny. So,
yeah, some folks did. No, yeah, I mean,
but I don't know, Dan, you're like John, Benjamin, whatever.
Oh,
his name
John H. Benjamin. Yeah.
Jingleheimer Schmidt.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. The writing in that is just a little rough. I was thinking when I was talking earlier about like when Star Trek commits to the bit, it can pay off. And I was thinking, like, do we have anything like that, Discovery Picard, and then I was thinking of remember when we were before the episode came out, the one where they go down to the planet and they were all
Stardust City, right?
yeah, and we were all hoping for this kind of fun rompy adventure, and then it turns out no, it's
Eye gouging, death, murder,
Seven
revenge.
just murders everybody, and then that's it, and it's like, okay. That's the thing. Like, they didn't commit to it, so you don't get to have that. Like, that's kind of part of this magic. I feel like it's missing. It's just like you don't take time to do stupid stuff, and then in between all this really heavy stuff, it's too dense. So I was just thinking about that.
Well, to indulge in 5-second speculation, Under a Strange New Worlds, we'll look at TOS for the funny episodes.
Yeah, I hope so.
That's true.
I hope so.
Because I mean, Discovery and Picard, I mean, they're all dramas. I'm not trying to
and
say.
Lower Decks, I mean, is
Oh, that's
gotta
true.
have tons
You're
of
right.
humor.
And then Lower Decks is probably going to be nothing but humor.
Well, oh man, I'm trying to remember the name of it, but the episode where the Doctor inhabits Seven of Nine's body,
yeah.
and so it's
It was on the list.
Jerry Ryan playing Robert Picardo playing Seven of Nine, which is just hilarious. That's that's a lot of good acting too. I mean, Robert Picardo gives a lot really well, or just not to jump past
Body
that,
and
but
Soul.
Is that right?
Is it Body and Soul?
I can't remember, but anyway.
I'm not sure. But then you also have like Tinker Tenor, Dr. Spy with another doctor. But this is where you had the ECH, Emergency Command Hologram, and the Pips were like something. Just that is like the funniest. Not the funniest, but like it's such a nice touch where he activates it. His shoulders change to red, and then the flare of the Pips just being like, what is it? It's like the A-Team. It's like, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the ECH. Da 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 da. As the Pips come out.
Robert Picardo himself is just so good at that sort of humor. Like, and they use him to maximum effect in Voyager, so it's great. But it's just because that idea isn't inherently funny, like in and of itself, but it's like his gusto and his like confidence, and he's so excited to do it. It's just, it's really good.
It kind of makes me think of the Barkley episode where he is imagining himself as like the hero. Mm-hmm. It's kind of similar. I mean, not that he's like Barkley, but where he's basically imagining a larger role in his life. And he's daydreaming. I mean, that's exactly what it is what the aliens are picking up in their transmissions.
I would need my wife here for the technical terms, but it reminds me, and I'll probably say this all wrong. It reminds me in Commedia dell'arte, there's these like, I'll get it all wrong. There's like 8 figures of these types of characters. It's almost like stock characters in Greece, or but like, and one of them is sort of like you have high status, low status, but then you have like the low status, but like, or the high status one, the guy who thinks he knows everything, very self-important. In some ways, that can be the Doctor. I mean, because we know he has a range and he can be very empathetic and stuff, but he does have that pomposity that often leads itself to humor.
Yeah, I think they, like you said, Daniel, they really, I mean, we all really like the Doctor's character, but we almost don't give enough credit to the fact that they really knocked out of the park casting Robert Picardo. Like, they got so much out of him as an actor for 7 years. Like, I can't even imagine that show without all of the stories they were able to tell, the way they utilized him, from singing to just the comedic timing, just that personality.
That's an interesting idea. Like, who of each of the groups of each of the crews is the funny one? Like, which one do we like, or do you
which
think
one's the cute one?
Okay.
Who's the bad boy?
So I think I would still say the Doctor in Voyager, even though 7 of 9 gets a lot of dry responses, but not, which are played for humor, but not as much as the Doctor. Like, even just like the season 1 episode where his hollow matrix is damaged and he's like shrunk to 2 foot tall, and you have to change to your emergency medical holographic channel.
See, I think Neelix was originally supposed to be the comedic relief, and it doesn't work that great. And then
Is the annoying relief.
Right.
In the early writing.
Yeah,
that they
sure.
eventually
And of
made
course,
better.
Neil, not to say anything bad about Neelix or anything like that. It's just like, I feel like later on,
Of the Planeteers, Neelix has heart. So.
That's true.
Well, I mean, without him, you can't make Captain Planet. So
That's
it
true.
is
That's what I'm saying.
important.
He's essential. He's essential. Yeah. It almost makes me think of a bit of a. I know we're kind of, but what actor really? Like, if you were a writer, that necessarily isn't your favorite character, but you just love to write for. Like, you would love to write for Robert Picard. Like, any scene, we're gonna give to Robert Picard to make him. Just like,
and you can see that they do that.
even like with TNG, like Brent, there's so much we obviously see that Brent can do. You're gonna write, make him all the characters, fistful of datas.
It's almost like a versatile actor who is usually playing the straight man. Like, that's kind of the formula. I mean, you have Spock, is often the humor, dropping the lines.
And even John Billingsley as Phlox. I would love to write for John, because he could.
Yeah.
He the way he performs, it's serious, but I don't even know how to just talk about Phlox, because he's not serious, but he's not like broad.
He has an intrinsic.
He's
humor.
alien. Yeah.
Yeah.
He just has this way
that
of he's
big smile.
Yeah.
Big smile. Yeah. No, I see it. Phlox.
I believe that is a.
And then, now, okay, with DS9, would you say, I don't want to say Odo, because he is like so far the straight man that it's like the Quark Odo dynamic, yes, but just Odo, no.
But Deep Space Nine's tough because in a lot of ways it's more based on character relationships. Like you mentioned, Bashir and O'Brien earlier. And I mean, everybody gets funny things to do in Deep Space Nine for sure. But like, think of Quark, and I mean, like, because you can kind of put Quark in like what you would think would be a Neelix role, where Quark always is kind of supposed to be the one that's not taken seriously and all this sort of stuff. But yeah, the bumbling idiot kind of a thing. But I don't know. It's just Deep Space Nine. I feel like it's not any one character, because there's already 8 trillion characters on Deep Space Nine anyways. So, but I think they get a lot out of all of the people that they put on the show.
No, I think you're right. It's the pairings. It's, O'Brien and Bashir aren't intrinsically funniest. They can have their serious episodes, but then you put them together and you get a lot of great moments. Same with, Odo and Quark. What do you think, Philip?
I was just looking at the list here for DS9. So the Ferengi is often, Ferengi episodes. So that the Magnificent Ferengi. Yeah. Which I think is, again, the Ferengi aren't usually
Little Green Men.
Yeah. Yes. And I think
it's that one again. It's that, like you said, putting them in a situation where we know our 1950s history a little bit better than they do.
But I remember doing a DS9. I mean, I've done a bunch of DS9 rewatches at this point in my life, but I remember during DS9 rewatch, which I always thought was not my favorite series, and I'm like, oh, Ferengi. I don't like the Ferengi episodes, but then I would watch some of them, like, I don't know, this is actually a good one, I would always want to be like reluctantly, I'm like, nah, this is actually pretty funny. Like the ones, where the first one where we meet his mom, it's interesting because there's serious stuff to it too. It's not always funny, but like, but Magnificent Ferengi, like you said, is it's interesting because even the Ferengi themselves, once you get Nog, Rom, Quark, and then Brunt, I mean, they're all Ferengi, but they still are different characters, so they all have different reactions, which is always what you like to happen.
The Ferengi race is an interesting, it's interesting. Like, we like learning more about this crazy society and their rules and their prejudices and just how it's built. And we're like, it's kind of like a house of cards, and we're like, how does this work? Like, how have you not collapsed in on yourself over the millennium? But but it's they're fun to write for. And it's interesting, you commented on Quark being kind of a similar Neelix role, but I would never call him the bumbling idiot just because he's just who he is. He doesn't apologize for it. He's greedy, but he obviously cares, about his family. But if he has the chance, like, again, like that episode where he goes up against the other shop owner that opens up, Like, that's a hilarious episode because you actually see him kind of sweating it. Like, I'm losing my customers. Like, what am I going to do?
Yeah, and like you think of like the Quark gets married to the Klingon episode and stuff like that.
House of Quark, yeah.
There's so much good stuff around Quark. And again, it's a credit too to
Just that sentence, Quark gets married to a Klingon. Like, you know you're going to be in for a good ride.
it's a credit to Armin because, you know, not only acting through all that tremendous amount of makeup, but he's just a really funny dude. He's just really, really good at timing. So.
And then for some of the other DS9 characters who, as you say, we don't always necessarily get that. So Take Me Out to the Holosuite. It's been a while since I've watched that one, but
Yeah.
that's the whole cast. It's literally,
Death to the opposition.
literally the whole cast there. So
Yeah, and everybody does something funny in that episode.
yeah,
Absolutely. And that episode is really sweet too. It's like
Bad News Bears.
yeah, it's such a great episode.
Yeah.
Man, that's one of my favorites for sure. But it is the whole. It's the same sort of thing that we talked about with the Cupid episode, where it's everybody gets in on this
Yeah.
crazy situation, gets to have fun, but there's still somewhat.
Gets to wear something besides their
Yeah.
standard uniform.
And it's a somewhat serious stakes though. Like at the end, you're still rooting for the team, you're still rooting for the people, but you know it's not like end of the universe stuff. It's really good. Really good.
And also, if I remember the ending correctly, they lose, right? They just
Yo,
celebrate
they
that
lose
Rom
like 10 to
scores.
0 or
Well,
10
they get
to
1
1
point or something, or 1 run. I mean,
Well, yeah, because they, let's see, like I think a couple of people are out, like they can't play.
then we have to get
And
Rom.
so he brings in Rom, and Rom's all nervous. And then Sisko's been ejected from the game, so he's stuck in the stands. And he activates the crowd holograms, so they're all cheering Rom on. And I think he doesn't swing; he literally just stands there, not sure what to do, which ends up bunting it. And then he runs,
Sacrifice or something,
yeah,
right?
sacrifice play or something, so Nog or someone can get home. And everyone cheers and lifts him up like it's the hero of the hour.
Mm-hmm.
And the Vulcans are like, you guys lost like 10 to 1, and they're like, we don't care. Yeah, that's a great episode.
And that's a lesson for Cisco. That's a lesson. That's a
is.
lesson for the lead of the show. Like,
Yeah,
Because he's taking it seriously.
Yeah.
he's taking it way too seriously. Which it's also like, these aren't baseball players. Like, these are Starfleet officers. Like, they're not going up against a Vulcan team which plays together as a team. So I don't know what he was expecting, but
No, there's. I saw 2 of these at least responses, and I'm a big supporter of first season TNG, but I don't know if I can get fully on board with the naked now as
but see, that's just kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like, just
Everyone's
plain
drunk,
weird is
you know.
yeah. I don't know.
No.
Well, okay. I think it's Starship Mine, where they're at the I guess the B plot where they're at the reception, and
Hutch.
Data's kind of like doing the call me Hutch swagger, and again you get Brent Spiner just knocking it out of the park as Data, emoting like crazy. And rest in peace Hutch, who did not survive the day, but that that's a great part to that episode because it balances out the extreme seriousness of Die Hard on the Enterprise, which is basically what Picard is going through.
yeah, they're all just down there, not going.
One we haven't mentioned is the Voyager one. It's a Doctor one, but of course one we always reference, and that's Message in a Bottle.
Ah, yes.
Yes, so many buttons. Again, the quotability, I think, is a real indicator. If you have like 5 or 6 lines you can quote, it's probably going to be a funny episode.
What attack vector should we use? Alpha?
Alpha. What's so funny about that is it's kind of got a Galaxy Quest feel. Like if we were transported onto this bridge and all the rest of the crew is knocked out and we have to use the verbal commands, we don't know what to do. We're not trained Starfleet officers. So yeah, we'd be like, yeah, do you wish to initiate multi-vector something? Sure.
That sounds
Do
good.
that.
Target Romulans.
I mean, what actually that is exactly out of Galaxy Quest. Now that I think about it, there's that part where he's like, "We'll do that," because he doesn't know.
Oh, it was
Yeah,
that's
who
like
should we target
Tony
the
Shalhoub.
Romulans.
It's like Tony
Yeah.
Shalhoub, like, how are we gonna fix this? According to the guys, we gotta regenerate the Unipix.
Hey,
That's
guys,
what they told me.
sorry.
Yeah, let's do that. Group
Yeah.
hug, guys.
Computer, is there a auxiliary group of beryllium spheres? I need to watch that movie again. Okay, we're talking about comedy. Should we have to list that as our number one Star Trek episode for comedy? Is Galaxy Quest? Well, and again, to dip into the data well, like you said, fistful of datas. I mean, you just start to get from his, I think Pa is my favorite of the data isms in that episode, where he's just like just staring you down, and he's just like, get over here, boy, just
Oh man, it's been a while since
He's
I've
got
seen
that-
that episode.
A
got that
fistful of
black
data,
hat.
yes, yeah.
Although I don't know, there's that, and there's the saloon girl at the very very end,
Mr. Wolf,
which-
Mr. Wolf.
just for the fact that Worf is so uncomfortable. I think the only thing that would have made that episode even funnier is if instead of Deanna, maybe you had like Loxana brought in somehow just to take it up another little notch.
I believe someone did respond with anything all the Loxana Troy episodes. So, which
That's true.
except for Dark Page.
I was gonna say there's one maybe that sticks out a little bit, but
and then even the again, it's been the second
Half a
stuff.
Life.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I was also thinking of the second DS9 episode because she's
Yeah.
pregnant and the husband's gonna. That's more so
Is that
sweet.
the one
than
where
funny.
she marries Odo?
Yeah.
And they have the melting scene
Ceremony.
or is it the first one? I always mix them up, but like where he can't
Yeah.
hold his form in
I
the
think
elevator.
It's the first one, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's well again because they always play her character for laughs. When she has those serious moments, they resonate more because you're like, oh, this is an actual person with actual feelings.
She takes her wig off, like, because then.
yeah.
Right.
Now, a series. I was gonna say an episode. A series we haven't mentioned. Shuttle Pod 1.
Okay, that's a funny
Yeah.
one too.
Although, yeah,
thing
it's
Reed get drunk.
funny, but it is also very serious. I mean,
Right.
these guys essentially think they're about
They
to
think
die,
the Enterprise, and they think the Enterprise has been destroyed.
but it is funny for sure.
Tell me, Commander, do you think T'Pol has a nice bum?
I mean, that's season 1, right?
Yes.
It feels like season 1 episode. Like, we're not quite sure what these characters would say. Let's just
They're fooling
Write
you into
something.
thinking Reed's interesting, and no.
someone posted attention Bajoran workers, civil defense. Again, overall, not like high comedy, but everything coming out of Ducat, like all the Ducat parts are great because his little pre-recorded monologues where it's like Bajoran workers, you have 5 minutes to turn over the station to your Cardassian overlords, and he's like, apparently you haven't listened, and then at the end he beams in and like loses control of the situation. He's really the funny part of that whole episode is just Ducat being stuck.
Yeah, some of this stuff is tricky because there's a handful of Star Trek funny episodes, but there's lots of humor
Right.
in all of Star Trek.
Oh yeah.
So it's like there's funny things in almost every single episode.
Oh, row.
I don't know. Does 12 Klingons constitute a swarm? Or Worf saying, we do not speak of it with outsiders. Like, that's all he's got to say about the forehead. Those are Klingons? I'm cutting you guys off.
Or the fact that you can't watch the original TOS Tribbles and not imagine Cisco throwing Tribbles at Kirk's head.
No, it was Cisco and Dax. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Now, one that's a DS9 that we didn't mention, our man Bashir.
Oh,
Yeah, see, I don't think of that
Garrick.
as a funny episode. It's like I love it because it's a great.
I mean, they're all they're all playing against type, as it
Yeah,
were.
it is.
but-
No, it definitely is a funny episode, but it doesn't come into my head because I think of it more as a loving homage to Bond films. But it is. It's really funny. It's really, really funny. And it's a great episode on top of everything else. So, and that's a great, conceit of the holodeck that we didn't even get in TNG, where basically everybody has to inhabit a character that's on the holodeck because they had to beam into the holodeck or whatever. It was great. I really liked that. But
Well, and just Avery Brooks playing a villain is hecka scary, because especially like a madman type villain, like
Dr. No, whatever.
Yeah, Dr. Noah
oh yeah, what was his?
Armageddon or something, whatever his name is. It's probably his name. But yeah, where he's just like wanting to destroy the world, and at the end he gets his way. Well, and Garrick. Oh my gosh, we haven't even mentioned Garrick.
Yeah, very subtle.
Like literally everything out of Garrick's,
It's either funny or sinister. That's basically Garrick's two
or
switches.
funny sinister at the same time.
There's a couple times
like
where it's sad,
Yeah.
but obviously that's
Sinisterly sad.
sinisterly.
What is it? I love the scene where Bashir is telling him the story of the boy who cried wolf. And he's like, haven't you ever heard the story of the boy? He's like, no, my good doctor, please tell me. It's like, well, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, when you tell the same lie, he's like, when you lie all the time, no one will ever believe you. And he's like, is that the moral you got from that story? He's like, of course. Well, what other morals there? And he's like, never tell the same lie twice. It's just like, well, you're not wrong, Garrick, but man, I'm gonna sleep with one eye open and my phaser under my pillow. You're creeping me out.
So here's another Enterprise, because again, you don't often think Enterprise. Acquisition. I think, to me, the funny part of that is the writers going, I don't know how it actually works, but we're going to do a Ferengi episode, but we
and
can't
not show the Ferengi.
we can't let and so I think but allowing that to be, because they did it with the Borg, which is not funny, of course, it's the Borg.
The Borg.
I know.
No.
But it's interesting. Acquisition, yeah.
I wouldn't.
Well, didn't and Ethan Phillips did
Yeah.
a Borg in that, didn't he? Or not a Borg, sorry, a Ferengi.
Yeah.
It was Ethan Phillips and somebody else who had already been a Ferengi. No, it was wasn't it Ethan Phillips and Clint Howard?
Yes.
I think that's who the other Ferengi was.
Oh, had it been the 2.5 years where Clint Howard has to
Yeah.
Star
I
Trek?
think I could be wrong about that though.
I know the aliens. They're
Oh.
up there.
Was it Jeffrey
Or was
Combs?
it Jeffrey Combs?
Oh, it might have
That's-
been Jeffrey Combs. That's who.
Yeah.
I think.
Someone look that up. But,
Yeah, it was
Talking
Jeffrey
to you,
Combs.
listeners. Look it
okay,
up.
I was
Look
gonna
it
say
up,
I thought it was Ethan Phillips and Jeffrey
Yep,
Combs.
yep,
Makes
yep.
more sense. Well, and there's some good parts in the movies as well. You have, in Generations, where Data gets his emotion chip and he starts to, well, he's more like having a psychotic breakdown, I guess. But you have like the Mr. Tricorder.
Darren, that is not funny.
Oh, when he pushes her off into the water. Okay, that is funny, but it's also funny for the wrong reasons, I guess. Yeah,
But a lot of mentions about the TOS episode, A Piece of the Action, where everyone gets to play a monster.
The gangster one, right? Yeah.
Yep.
That's the gangster world, right? That's not a holodeck. That's a world that
Sigma
watched
Iosha
a film.
too, I believe. Read a book.
Yeah, read a book. That's why you don't read kids.
Something
Base your whole
gangsters of
society on
the Chicago of the 20s or something like
20th
that.
century, yeah.
Yeah.
Prime Directive. The good Prime Directive of us.
Well, and speaking of books, you also have like the Royale, which
funny.
well, okay,
Surreal.
it's funny once they start to play the characters. Like once they're like, "Oh, we're the foreign buyers," and they're like, "I don't know, just have Data bet and win." Like, that part is kind of funny when they start to inhabit the characters. But yeah, leading up to that, it's not the best episode. But
Yeah, it's like a mind episode, so it's...
yeah, it's like you said, like Star Trek has episodes that are funny, and then they have like moments that are funny because it's obviously can't just be intense the entire time. Like nobody wants to watch that. Who put Tuvix? My gosh, that is not a
I think
comedic episode.
It's always
Why
fun.
has
Someone's
no
getting
one
trolled.
named Tuvix?
Ooh, all right. Someone did mention.
I did see, or one last thing on Tuvix. I did see someone posted, not in this, but in another thread, where it's like Picard talking about there's a new life and there it sits, and then Janeway's just like, "Hey, sorry, Tuvix, peace out."
So hey, just a correction. Sorry, Philip. I'll let you go right after this, but
No, please.
there were 3 Ferengis, and it was Clint Howard, Jeffrey Combs, and Ethan Phillips. So we were all
So we got them all.
right.
We were all
We got them all. All right, bingo.
Pats on the back all around. Good job, guys.
A fresh can of tube worms or grub worms.
Another barrel of blood wine.
So someone mentioned Rascals.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, yeah, Rascals.
You're my number one dad.
Again, I say it every time, but it's just the way that they act like, oh no, the Ferengis are gonna figure out that I'm actually transporterly de-aged Picard because I said number 1.
And I forget.
No, nobody's thinking that.
I forget who wrote that. I don't know if that was Bragg or someone, but because I was reading something recently, and there's only so many things I read recently. I don't know if it was this book I'm reading or anything, but whoever wrote it, it's one of the big Star Trek writers, was like, "Oh man, I think about that episode and how horrible it was." I'm like, it wasn't horrible. Don't be like embarrassed. It's a fun.
I mean,
romp.
it's not like Best of Both Worlds, but it's not a bad episode.
No, I liked it.
And you get some character growth in it. I mean, it's Ro getting her Guinan side episode.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a Guinan tag-along episode.
There's lots of Alexander for Daniel.
Oh boy.
You have the school computer. Hi, would you like to see a picture of the Enterprise?
No, thank you.
Yeah, that's. I'm now comparing like Rascals to, what was it, Acquisition?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like 2 episodes where the Ferengis take over a ship called
true.
Enterprise.
That's very true.
I mean, very different in how they go about it. But, or you even have Menage a Troi, where again, just Ferengi are.
Ferengi.
I mean, they're the non-mustache twirling villains of
Ferengi
the Federation.
and Loxwana Troy. So
yeah. How could you lose? I mean,
now there's someone who made a list here. There's 2 we haven't mentioned in this list. One is Q2, which I always think of as a weak episode, but maybe I need to rewatch it. The one with John Delancey's son playing his son.
Was his son? Yeah.
And then the one we mentioned recently.
Well, but that one is that okay? That's Q2. I'm trying to think of is that the first one where the female Q is in, or is that only in Voyager?
True Q. True Q is Amanda in TNG.
That's a lot of fun as well.
Yeah.
What else is on the list?
Magic to make the sanest man go mad. Is that a laugh out loud comedy, Daniel?
Is that the one with the
Discovery
time? No, it's Discovery, but it's the one where the time loop.
Yeah, it's the time loop one.
I'm trying to think of the funny episode of Discovery because there's not
That's
a lot.
As close as they get.
Yeah. Well, they got the party going on in the saucer.
I think it was supposed to be serious.
The serious party where, yeah, sure, yeah.
Honestly, that one's it's really tough with the new stuff because they don't take a lot of time to fill out the world with that stuff. I will say I'll just mention
Stru's got some funny lines.
Stru does.
Again, that kind of Spockish moments.
He's definitely the funny one.
I'm just going to say with Picard, the holograms.
Oh yeah, the Rios holograms.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's when they all have their like council of holograms.
The council of holograms.
I was also thinking too that both 2009 and Beyond are very funny.
That's true. They do have a lot of good humor in it. From Kirk wrecking his dad's car to, just a lot of the, it's just interspersed. Again, a lot of Spock. Again, it's a lot of combinations. A lot of Star Trek humor is person A and person B, not just person A.
Well, the slapstick of 2009 is the McCoy pumping Kirk full of drugs.
Running through the
you got numb tongue?
Running through
I got something
the
for that.
Budweiser factory, yeah.
Oh, jeez. Or yeah, also Chekhov, where he with the lightning storm and he starts running through the. Or is that no? That's Kirk. Sorry.
I can do that. I can do
Yeah.
that.
But yeah, or just Scotty. He's also got a lot of funny moments with Keenzer.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, when you have
Yeah.
Simon Pegg,
Drunk.
you know,
Yeah.
you got
Yeah.
I mean, even in the film we should not name, Into Darkness, you have drunk Scotty. Oh, you can tell. Am I wouldn't enter him if he had.
I'm sure there are funny things in the darkness, but I've still only seen that movie once. So
It's coming next week. We review Star Trek Into Darkness here. See, I made a joke, guys. That's what we're talking about today.
A story with a humorous climax.
oh, I get it.
The Giants. Yeah. No, again, Star Trek 4. Probably, yeah. I'm trying to think. Well, even Star Trek 6, you have like Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. You have them all hungover the next day. Romulan ale should be illegal. All that stuff. It's got some good humor in
I can't
it.
believe I kissed you. Must have been your greatest ambition.
That's good. That's good stuff.
That's 5, right?
That's 6.
It's 6?
That's 6.
Oh no, you're right. That is 6.
Yep.
Where they're escaping
On
Rural
Pente.
Pente.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, 6. It's got some problems, but yeah. No, it's when you throw in more Shakespeare, it just makes it all funny.
Sure.
All right,
Comic
guys.
writer.
Well, anything we missed? I think it's a fairly comprehensive double back looped around list of.
We
Star
did miss
Trek
something
episodes.
very important.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
There's an episode of TNG that heavily features a comedian.
Oh, God.
We didn't even talk about it. So
Joe Piscopo?
Joe Piscopo, which was in the terrible episode of what is the episode? I don't remember the
I
episode.
don't even remember. Because that's the B plot,
It
isn't
is the B
So I don't-
plot, yeah.
Is this the one where he's writing the letter to Maddox?
No.
Or
That's Data's Day you're
no.
thinking of.
Data's Day, yeah.
I don't
In
even...
theory,
Nope, that's where he's dating Jenna.
No, that was when he was
dating someone. Jenny.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, where he. Oh no,
It's second season because there's Guinan, because he tells a joke to Guinan.
It feels very fourth wall breaky because the humor when he's with the comedian feels just like that. What was it called? The thing they did for Whoopi Goldberg, where they're talking about the found sweatshirts from the Band-Aid.
Comic Relief.
Comic Relief, yeah. Like the way they deliver their lines is like the same thing. It's really rough.
It was the outrageous O'Connor. That's why we're having trouble remembering.
Oh,
It's outrageous.
Not a great
That
A plot
lovable
either.
rogue.
So.
No, guys, it's
Yeah.
Romeo and Juliet in space with Han Solo.
Yeah, with not Riker, with Riker B, backup Riker.
Well, it's better than Data B,
Before
the Traveler.
Oh, I didn't realize that actor was
Up for
in
Data.
the running for Data. Well, I mean, granted, I think the Traveler acts well for what the character he is. I don't think he could pull. I don't think he could pull off what Brent Spiner gave us, but.
Never know.
Alternate twisted mirror universe maybe, but all right, guys. Well, it's been fun talking about the fun humor of Star Trek, whether it's Next Generation, TOS, or just Neelix. It's a lot of fun to talk about. Daniel, if someone wanted to talk to you and grill you once more, because it's fun on the Q episodes, where would they find you?
They can find me on Twitter at OneUpDan. That's the number one, not the word. As in, laughter is the number one best medicine.
Couldn't agree more. And Phillip, if someone wanted to answer your Twitter questions, maybe the saddest episodes, the most cringeworthy moments that we won't talk about, where would they find you?
They can find me at NC Public Servant. I also asked, why did they have to kill Lieutenant Carey in like the next to the last episode of Voyager? Why?
He almost made it home.
Man had kids. The man had kids.
Well, and if someone wanted to talk to me about, maybe just how much Death to the Opposition should be on a T-shirt, They can find me on Twitter, Instagram under username Dr. Sci-Fi, DRSCIFI. I'm Darren Moser.
I'm Phillip Gelfus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
Stranded here, laughing it up on SETI Alpha 3.
Da, 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 da.
Come!